All right, question 25. It says Lenny bought a motorcycle. He paid 12.5% in tax. The tax added to $1,437.50 of the price of the motorcycle. What was the price of the motorcycle not including the tax? All right, so in this case, let's set up an equation. We know that he bought a motorcycle for some price. They don't tell us the price, but that's okay. In math, when we don't know something, we just put it as a variable. So I'm going to say right here that the price, so I'm going to say x is equal to the price of the motorcycle before tax. And I'm going to set up an equation. I'm going to say the price of the motorcycle, well, 12.5% of the price of the motorcycle, because he paid 12.5% in tax, which means that 12.5% of the vehicle price is going to be adding up to $1,437.50. All right, and that's kind of the most important part. Is kind of just setting up this equation. Oops, my bad. This should be 12.5%, which actually I can't have a percentage in math when multiplying, so I need to convert this into a decimal. So I'm going to convert that to a decimal, which is 0.125. So oops, that should be 0.125. All right, so we kind of did a lot right here in this equation, but this is kind of the essence of what you're supposed to do. And then once you get to this part, it's kind of just solving for the variable. So again, just as a recap, we know that 12.5% of the vehicle price is going to be equal to $1,437.50. So what we did here was, well, 12.5% of the cost of the motorcycle, well, that's just going to add up to $1,437.50. And we want to figure out what's the price of the motorcycle before tax. So here what we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving for this variable x. So I'm going to go ahead and make my barrier, as we always do. And then on the side of x, what's bothering us? In this case, it's this 0.125. So let's go ahead and get rid of that by dividing it by 1.25. And then what you do to one side, you've got to do to the other side. Oops. And then luckily, for this problem, you should be given a calculator because this is section 2 of the exam. So we can go ahead and use our calculator deliberately to make this problem a little bit easier. So let me go ahead and show you how to use a calculator in this part. So when you want to divide a number like this, you want to go ahead and put the first number, which is the top number first. So it's going to be 1,307.50. And then this little bar right here means dividing. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my dividing symbol, press that, dividing, and then the last one is 0.125. So 0.125. And once I divide this, this cancels out. I'm left with x is equal to 11,500. And so my answer is 11,500. And again, what is x? What does this mean? What we found was that the price of the motorcycle before tax was 11,500. And so if I go ahead and put in my answer right there, I can check with my answer key and it turns out to be right. I think the main point here is learning how to make the equation and then just solving for it. So it's kind of a two-part. Before, you were always kind of just given an equation and kind of tasked just to solve it. This one is kind of, you've got to take an equation from a text and then kind of write it in your own terms. All right, hope that makes sense.